In this lesson, we're going to talk about the tools on the side and the quick edits that I have not mentioned in the last 4 lessons. We are in chapter 5 and we're still using the photos from that lesson. Let's begin. Go ahead and click on the first tool, which is the magnifying glass. It represents the zoom tool. Also, you can press Z as a shortcut. The zoom tool allows you to zoom in or out of a picture, and it also corresponds to which one you have selected. So if I want to zoom in, I would select the plus, move over the picture, and zoom in. It's just that simple. And to the right tells me I'm at a zoom magnification of 50%. If I wanted to zoom out, I would select the minus button and then zoom out. And I can go quickly fit screen again. You do not have to rely on the buttons. You can scroll back and forth if you want to zoom in and out. And there's also a shortcut. So if you see right now the magnifying glass has a minus, I can press the Alt key, which will change it to a plus, and then I can zoom in. That's a nice handy shortcut, by the way. Now before we talk about the next tool called the hand tool, shortcut H, let me show you a shortcut before I talk about it. If you press the space bar, that'll change it to a hand tool. So any tool that you have selected, if you press the space bar, it'll change it to a hand, which is the move tool, or the hand tool. Sorry, my bad. The hand tool is great because it allows you to move within the picture. So if you're doing restoration part and you need to move the picture here just a little there, or if you need to see another part of the picture quickly, the hand tool is just a tool for you. Now let's talk about another tool. Let me go back to fit screen. Let's talk about the crop tool. Crop tool, shortcut C. And the crop tool allows you to, let's say for example, this picture is nice, but maybe I just wanted the face. So I would make sure my aspect ratio is no restriction, so I can draw the marquee in any type of rectangular form that I want. I'll draw out the marquee. And when I do that, it's showing me what will be kept in the crop and what will not be kept. The shaded part as well will not be kept. I also have an overlay called the rule of thirds. So this tells me wherever I position this crop tool, these thirds tell me basically where in part of the photo the best part would be. I can explain it like this. Let's say you have a picture of a sunset and an ocean. Well, the rule of thirds would state it's better to have 2/3 sky and 1/3 ocean, or 2/3 ocean and 1/3 sky, not to have a photo half sky and half ocean. Okay, I think that's a better way of saying that. I can either cancel it or commit it. If I commit it, this is my new crop. Okay, it actually doesn't look that bad. I kind of like it. Crops are good things. Crops can take a boring picture and make it interesting according to how you crop it. There's something else I want to show you. If I hit Control Z, it will undo it, or I can just go to undo up here. Now when I draw my crop out again with no restrictions, and I were to change it to the golden ratio, and let's say I wanted to move it here, basically this is the sweet spot. It's saying that if I were to look at a photo, my eyes would be drawn to this spot. If I commit, this is a new crop. And as you can see, there's some canvas that has been left. So what I will do, I'll just take the crop tool again. And, oh, excuse me, I didn't. So let me just get rid of part of this. There we go. So that's the golden ratio crop according to the overlay that I selected. Press undo, and press undo again. And there we go, we have our original picture. But let's say that I wanted a 4:6. You would go to aspect ratio and you would choose 4:6. Now watch what happens. It constrains me. I can't draw it as free as I want. So when I select this, this is going to be the 4:6. Also according to the resolution, which should be about 300 if you're printing or 72 for the web. I'll talk about that in a later lesson, but it's something I wanted to let you know. Also, these settings are sticky, so be careful. If you use the crop tool again, it will rely on this. You can either pick no restrictions, or if you want, you can right click on this triangle and say reset tool, and it'll reset it automatically. That works for any tool, by the way. Now let's talk about the next one, is the red eye. Red eye is, it removes the red eye from a photo quickly. I'll show you in a lesson another way. Sometimes it's a fickle tool, sometimes it wants to work and sometimes it doesn't. This is the make teeth whiter. Basically you would select this tool and then according to your brush size, I would reduce my brush size here under the diameter slider, and then I will go over the teeth and it would make them whiter. And this is the make dull skies blue, and I can show you that by clicking on the third picture. And let me increase my brush size again because I don't want to spend all day selecting this area, so let me increase it a little bit more. There we go. And when I select this, watch what happens to the area that I select. Oh, but it's not going to work because I'm in 16-bit mode with this photo, so it's going to convert it to 8-bit mode automatically, and then it will work. And as you can see, it's making the duller scene a little bit better by making it more blue. And lastly, if something I wanted to mention, if you see these marching ants, which indicates the area that the sky has been made bluer, you will go to select, deselect, Control D, and that will take off that selection. And lastly, this is the black and white high contrast. Basically, this will convert your photo to black and white, but since I applied that blue, watch what happens. And then select, deselect, or shortcut Control D. And lastly, we're going to talk about this little selection tool called the Quick Selection Tool, or shortcut A, and I'll tell you what it does. So let's go back over to the leaf. For example, I'm going to hit Auto Levels. Then I'm going to come over to the Quick Selection, and I'm going to select this leaf. Okay. If by accident I selected more, oops, excuse me. If I accidentally selected more than I should have, like that, I will come over here and then select Subtract from Selection, and then watch what happens. It'll subtract that from the selection, but I'm missing a couple spots here. So let me go back and click the plus, which will add to selection. So I can select that part of the leaf again. And I'm missing over here a little bit. Okay, what does this do? This allows you to make a smart fix, a lighting, a color, a balance only to the selected area. So for example, if I wanted to come over to hue and change it to red, add some more saturation or less saturation, and then hit select, deselect, now you can see that I just affected the leaf and made that black and white as compared to the rest of the picture. That's what this little tool does here. In a later lesson, I will talk about when you select something, what the refined edge does and how it works, and sample all layers. And sometimes when using the quick selection tool, you want to automatically check auto enhance, but I knew that there was enough difference between the background and the leaf that I didn't have to worry about that. And in the next lesson, we're going to talk about the guided edits.